Hello, welcome to Game Over Gerkinman. We're here with a brand new game for y'all. We're finishing off the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy, which is quite the excite. And we have some lovely people with us who you might recognize because we've been talking to them. Oh yeah. Would you kindly introduce yourselves, as is often the case on this particular program?
Yeah, I sure will. My name's Adam. I'm a game programmer, and I am an addict. Probably too much of one. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Board out here. Pretty big Rare fan, mainly of the music and stuff, but the music's different in this one, so I'm not so much of a fan compared to the others. So, we'll get into that.
We will.
Hi, this is Carbon Water, and the color palette is too bright. It's blinding me now.
It's pretty bright.
Well, that's a shame for you. Hey everybody, it's Jess from the Mirror, Let's Player, glorified commercial maker, and voice actress extraordinaire.
Boom. So, as is
My
often
intros just keep getting better and better.
well, we've had a lot of practice, so we will be improving. So, as is often the case when we start a new game, I guess everyone can go through, their experiences with this particular controversial little, well, I wouldn't say controversial, but I'd say it certainly splits fans. We'll say that of a game. So, Adam, why don't you tell us a little about your experiences with old Funky Kong here going... Well, that's my impression of Funky's music. I'm sorry, everybody.
That's pretty cool.
My experiences with this, I got this Christmas of '96, and I thought it was pretty fun, and I thought it was my second favorite in the DK trilogy. Not saying that Donkey Kong Country 1 is bad or anything. I'm just saying in order.
It's
bad. Bad means good. Okay. But what I was saying is that a lot of people probably didn't like the fact that your sidekick is now a humongous
Baby.
yes.
Yeah.
And they thought it was kind of kiddie, and ironic his name is Kitty Kong.
Yeah, good work,
And
guys.
we all know that our games reflect on how manly we all are.
Especially
Even
as
in
children.
But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good game, and I actually got everything 105%. Took me a while to get 105%. No internet to tell me what I'm supposed to do, and I didn't even have the players thing. I just kept having to wait for my damn Nintendo Power every month, see if they had any new tips or tricks or walkthroughs or any of that
Did they
kind of
have
stuff.
Prima guides back in those days?
Yeah,
No.
I'm just saying they didn't have one. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
What's there to say, really? I mean, it's a pretty good game. I found it pretty enjoyable. I don't know how I'd rate it compared to the others, though, really. Like, the second one, you can't beat the second one. The second one's good, but at the same time, I feel like you get sick of the second one as well after playing it a few times. This one was a bit, I don't know, it was different.
It had a bit more variety.
Yeah, well, they tried a bit of different shit in it, which is good. I like to see that. Change it up a bit. But yeah, it was pretty good. I give it a 7 out of 10.
Pretty much they decided to go instead of like with a jungle kind of atmosphere or a pirate atmosphere like the last
Canada.
one. It's like the first one.
Yeah, Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
How about you, Dylan? Since Donkey Kong Country 2 is your favorite game of all time, this must have had a lot to live up to.
I actually didn't really mind this. This is the only Donkey Kong Country game I didn't own. I believe a friend of mine had this, so I borrowed this all the time. And yeah, I pretty much enjoyed it. It wasn't, as dark as the last game. It's kind of like a bit brighter, a bit more kid-friendly. I guess they're going for kind of that sort of look.
What is this stage, anyway? It's like a barnyard or something?
Yeah,
or
it's
what?
like a wood mill, I think it's supposed to be. These levels actually make a return in Tropical for a Freeze.
Actually, I found these levels really boring. These first lot of levels, anyway.
Yeah, they're a bit
I don't know if
simple.
it's just me.
No, they're
Well,
really...
get introduced to the new mechanics,
Yeah.
if you can call them that.
Well, there's a bit more puzzle solving in there. What about you, Jess? How'd you come across this?
I don't remember if my dad had it, as well as all the other Donkey Kong Country games, or if I had them on the Wii, like on Virtual Console or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
like way back in the day.
That's what, if
Like
anyone's wondering too,
2006.
that's what this is being recorded off, is the Wii Virtual Console.
But yeah, because like for a while I thought I had never played it before, but then I was playing through it recently and I was like, oh my god, I totally remember this. I never beat it, so I can't really, I don't know. I mean, Kiddy Kong is the most annoying piece of shit in the world. But
I don't know. I mean, like,
He's a baby. How do you expect him to act?
I mean, he cries, but I still don't think he's as annoying as Baby Mario and Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, babies cry.
no, it's not the fact that he cries. It's just I don't
He's
like
fucking
him.
useless. That's what he is. Fat fucking.
Exactly.
I always felt like he was just like
Sean
a palette.
gets it.
I always felt like it was just a palette swap Donkey Kong.
Who sounds just like Diddy Kong
Yeah.
whenever he
It's
dies,
just like
apparently.
Diddy Kong. Yeah.
There'd be some
But,
creative palette swapping there to make that work.
No, you know what I mean though. Like he plays the same as Donkey Kong does in the first
Yeah.
one. Essentially, he's a heavy character.
And nobody ever played Donkey Kong in the first one. Let's be honest. Unless you absolutely had to, nobody played Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Well, they took more interest in the character's strength and weight in this one than they did with the first one.
Yeah.
And in this one, you can actually carry him around and like use him to slam into places or whatever.
And when Dixie picks him up because he's so heavy, she walks slower, and you can see her struggling under his weight, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought they did that. They developed that mechanic a lot more than they did in the original.
Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't
The
say this was a
second one,
terrible game
both
because I enjoyed it. But...
so-
And it's not said in the game, but you can use Kiddy Kong's roll to bounce off water.
Yeah, there's not many places where you'd actually use it, but it is something you can do.
What?
But it's
Wait, you
there.
skim off it.
This is
Yeah.
you could bounce along the top of the water, which is pretty neat.
What the fuck?
I think you need to do that to get to a certain bonus barrel.
Yeah, there's
so
a
if
few
you-
bonus levels you need to do it to get to.
How far does he skid for? Is it just like a
Infinite,
little
infinite.
skip?
It's like infinitely.
Yeah.
Every time you hit
As
the
long
jump
as you can
button,
get the timing down.
it's like skipping a pebble on top of water. Basically, each time you hit the
Oh.
jump button when you're doing it, he'll like just continually skip forward. This is actually
See,
the
that's
one. This is the one Donkey Kong Country game that I did own. I got the Game Boy Advance version of this when I bought my original
You skipped
DS.
that bonus-
What was that, Adam?
Okay.
You skipped the bonus barrel. Why'd you do that?
Because I'm not 100% in the game. I'm just showing the game off.
Speed run.
Speedrun! But yeah, so I had the Game Boy Advance version of this, which of course had a different soundtrack because they wanted David Wise to compose something that took full advantage of the Game Boy Advance sound chip. And that soundtrack was pretty garbage, and I'm not a big fan of it. I actually quite like the soundtrack to this game. It's a lot more understated than the second one, which was a lot more melody based. This one's a lot more atmospheric,
is.
and I kind of enjoy that in its own right. There's nothing you can really
Look at
dance
those
to.
gay ass fucking alligators.
Yeah, the one thing that bothered me about this game was that the Kremlings always looked lazier in this to me because they weren't wearing clothes, they were just single colours.
Yeah.
But I mean, the graphics
Very
in
detailed.
general looked definitely the most refined in this game. I think they pushed the Super NES about as far as it could.
Look,
Absolutely.
Canada right now.
Yeah. Lumberjacks. No Lumberjacks Kremlings, which is...
Oh, disappointing.
I do
Missed
find it
opportunity.
odd that the Northern Hemisphere is supposed to be where the Kremlins come from, but it's a snowy, cold place, and they're reptiles. It doesn't make a lot of...
Cold-blooded, that's why.
But yes, my first introduction to this was much like the other two. My cousin, I think, must have borrowed it off someone, or we hired it. They had it at the local video shop near my grandparents. It was the only Donkey Kong Country game they had. So I think we hired it from there, or we borrowed it from someone. Either one of those things. And
Oh, here we go. Here's Ellie.
yeah, here's a replacement for Rambi, who everyone hates,
Oh.
even though Ellie's actually got some cool mechanics. It's just kind of no one cares because Rambi was better.
Yeah, well, all I thought about when I first encountered this thing was that it replaced Rambi. That was to
Yeah.
unlock more late in the game, but alas, no, he wasn't.
I like the fact that like Ellie's more of a puzzle solving sort of character, I guess, than a tank.
Yeah.
You got to think to actually progress through the level instead of like charging through everything, just holding
Yeah,
down.
there's
Like,
a lot of that sort of
you're
stuff
dead,
in this
you're dead.
game. There's a lot of puzzly type platforming as opposed to just straight up run in one direction or run
Nah.
up.
We should have both, but memory or something, I don't know.
Nostalgia. Everyone just loves Ram because he's a cool guy.
It is.
Well, I didn't give a shit when they replaced the frog, whatever his name
Yeah, but
is.
that's because the frog was. You need fond memories. No one has fond memories of getting around on that fucking frog, jumping around like a spastic, falling off edges all the time. And that's why Rambi didn't come back either. I think they just decided, you know what, jumping characters suck. What did bother me about this, and it's something they started doing with Donkey Kong Country too, but they went all the way with this, and that's turning you into the animal instead of riding the animal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I understand why they have to do that, because levels like this would be impossible to beat without the character, and if you get hit, then it just runs away and you can lose it.
There's
Levels that rely on a certain character's ability, you wouldn't want to lose your animal. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Can I just say, I like how you jumped on the rat, but it didn't count.
That's because
And it
Ellie
really
was
sucked.
scared. Scared jumps don't count.
Little pussy, useless fucking fat cunt.
It is.
He is pretty. He's weird because he's the most dexterous character in the series, and he's also the most useless.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Well, you jumped on that one.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't scared at the time.
Well, I thought at first that you didn't jump on it because it was a mechanic that, elephants are scared of. Like, right there. Why is he
They're
scared
not
of those rats, but not earlier?
He can only jump on the ones that are under the. He's only afraid of ones that are in the light. I think it's supposed to be a lot darker than the game engine was capable of showing.
yeah. Well, you wouldn't know it's so dark. It's like, oh no, I can't see where I'm going. Okay, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And,
Still annoying.
or maybe because there was two of them. I guess two is too much.
Anyway, no one likes Ellie. I think is the bosses in this game. I think are cool though. They're interesting.
I like the boss music.
Yeah, the boss music's very cool. In this.
Yeah.
I like the fact you can't just spit out a beetle.
Wow.
You'll spit out a
How did...
barrel with a beetle in it.
Oh.
Jess,
Hakuna Matata.
you cannot complain about me doing this because you were stuck on this guy for like 20 minutes, and you were like, "What do
Not
I
20
do?
minutes.
What do I
Are you
do?"
fucking- It wasn't 20 minutes. Stop trying to make me sound like an
It
asshole.
felt like a lifetime.
It's interesting that this boss is one of the few, or maybe, if I can recall correctly, the only boss that doesn't really have health. Because, if you wait long enough, he'll keep going.
Yeah, he's the only one in the whole series that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And it seems in the third game they kind of went to more basic bosses like they had in the first game, rather than like here's an
I don't
undead
think they
bird
did that.
which is also a pirate.
Yeah, they don't have those sort of personalities that necessarily go with the world. I mean, he's a barrel in a wood mill, I
Like
guess.
here's like a barrel. Here's like a spider. Here's like a
Oh,
snowman.
that is such bullshit. Look at that.
Hanging on.
Hey,
Jeez.
one pixel is on the ground there.
That's all
It
it
defies
takes.
all gravity.
That's not how barrels work. Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go.
Donkey
Hey,
How
Kong.
still
barrels
lost.
work in Donkey Kong Country.
I like his red stoner eyes. Sean relates.
Lasered.
They shoot you to the beginning instead of you having to walk all the
Yeah,
way
that's
there.
a nice touch. I like the fact you move to the next level at your own pace too. It doesn't automatically take you up there in case you want to, I don't know, go somewhere else first. No,
Yeah.
anyway, that's pretty much this first episode. I'm just going to chill there for a second. There we go. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Adam. Join us next week as we... there's more mills and also there is Spider. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.